Hello mates, welcome to Full Stack Java Developer. I am Kiran Jadhav here. In this session, I will teach you exception handling in Java. See, what is exception? Exception, it is an abnormal condition which is interrupt normal flow of our Java application. For handling the exception, we have available 5 blocks like try, catch, throws and finally. And exception have two types of exception, check exception and uncheck exception. Then first we'll simply come up with the theory part here. See, what is exception? Exception, it means it is an abnormal condition which is interrupt normal flow of our Java application. There are two types of exception in Java, like checked exception and unchecked exception. Check, it means you can simply say this is compile time exception, this is compile time exception, and uncheck, it means you can simply say this is a runtime exception. Then I am giving some example for check exception. It means you can simply say like compile time exception, IOException and SQLException. SQLException, it means those are the compile time exception. Whenever you are creating the Java application, that time only you need to handle those exception. That's called compile time exception. And uncheck, it means runtime exception. Those exception comes at after running as Java application, right? That's called, you can simply say those are the uncheck, it means runtime exception. Then example are like NullPointerException and ArithmeticException. ArithmeticException. There are thousands of example available for that. Upcoming sessions also we are going to handle the exceptions. Fine? Yes. Then now there are available 5 blocks to handle the exception. 5 blocks to handle the exception. In that, first one we have try block, then second catch block, then next is throws, and finally. See, the last one is, you can simply say finally. Then try block, whenever exception comes, this much code will add within try block. Catch block, it will help us to catch the exception. Then throw, it is a user defined exception. Throws, it is a system generated exception. And finally it is a block, it always execute. Then before going ahead, I am just going ahead with the basic application, like there will be exception scenario comes and how it will interrupt the normal flow of our Java program. For that perspective, we'll simply come up with the Eclipse here and creating new Java application. Coming to file, new, dynamic web project. Application name I am giving here exception handling concept. See, application is created successfully. Now we'll simply come up with the src main Java. Right click on that, new package. The package name I'm giving here, this will be com.fullstack. You can simply say core. Now package all letters we are giving here lowercase. Then right click on package, new Java class. The Java class name I'm giving here exception basics. See, our class also created successfully. Within class I am just creating here main method, and here this is the happy path. We are just trying to print here full stack Java developer. Simply try run as Java application, it will give us the output full stack Java developer. Perfect. This is the happy path scenario. But now you can consider, if I am adding here integer result equal to 10 by 0, then definitely like it will give us arithmetic exception because of divide by 0. Then line number 7 exceptions occurs, right? Like arithmetic exception divide by 0. Then it will interrupt the normal flow of our Java program. Then what is exception? Exception, it means it is an abnormal condition which is interrupt normal flow of our program. Then see, here is the normal flow, it means we are trying to print full stack Java developer. But exception comes at line number 7, then definitely it will interrupt the normal flow of our Java program. It means you are not able to see full stack Java developer on screen. Now I am just trying to run as Java application. See one screen. See, now here exception comes at line number 7 and you are not able to see normal flow of our Java program. It means full stack Java developer also we are not able to see. Then how to handle exception? For that perspective we have available here 5 block like try, catch, throws and finally. Then try block, whenever exception comes, this much code you can simply add within try block. At which line we got the exception? line number 7 we got the exception here, right? See, exception basics line number 7. Then this much code you can simply add within try block. See, this much code you can simply add within try block, and catch block, it will help us to catch the exception. And if you want to trace it, then you can use e.print stack trace. Now if I am trying to run this application, definitely line number 8 here it will give us the exception like arithmetic exception divided by 0, and at line number 11 it will goes to trace this exception, right? And line number 13, this will give us the output here full stack Java developer, right? It means by handling the exception by using try catch, now we are able to see the normal flow of our Java program. Then see on screen, I'm just trying to run as Java application. See, here we got the exception at line number 8, exception basics.java, and the normal flow, it means you are able to see full stack Java developer. Why? Because whenever exception comes, this much code you can simply add within try block, and catch block you can simply catch the exception. Then instead of e.print stack trace, you will be able to pass here system.out.println e as well. See, it will just give us the like arithmetic exception divided by 0. You are not able to see from which line, which is the project, which is the class, which is the package, right? We are not able to trace in detail. If you are passing here e.get message, it will just print message like this exception for divided by 0. See, it will print only divided by 0. See one screen. Perfect. But instead of that, if you are using here a print stack trace, it will trace from which project, which is the package, which is the class, from which line we got the exception, right? Everything we are able to trace. See one screen here, like exception basics.java at line number 8 we got the exception, right? Then in industry we'll prefer to use e.print stack trace. Yeah, this way like we done with the basic example of exception scenario. Now I am creating the one more scenario. For that perspective, I am just going to comment out this much code. We'll add here next scenario for null pointer exception. Then here I am giving string, you can simply say name equal to, we are passing here full stack, we are passing here full stack. Now I am using here name dot length. I want to get the length of that particular string, right? Then see, here we have available those are the string, you can simply say like collection of characters, right? Then accordingly it will give us the length for those string. This is 9. But you can consider this data coming from database, and database don't have value, like it's null available, right? There is no value. Then what happen? Then line number 14, it will give us null pointer exception. See one screen. Run as Java application, it will give us null pointer exception. See, here is null pointer exception line number 14. Exception basics Java 14. We got which exception? Null pointer exception. And it interrupt the normal flow of our Java program. It means you are not able to see full stack Java developer. Then whenever exception comes, this much code you can simply add within try block. Then I am just adding here, this is, you can say like try block. We got the exception in this line, right? Then here you can simply say catch the exception by using catch block. Again e.print stack trace, Control A, Control I, Control Shift F, it will format the code base. Now again I am trying run as Java application. See, here we got null pointer exception at exception basics line number 14, but till you are able to see the full stack Java developer output on screen. Why? Because once you are going to handle the exception, then definitely it will catch by using catch block, and accordingly it will follow our program execution there, right? Yes. Then here we have one try multi catch. If I want to use catch block here, right, I am just giving here this is null pointer exception. Again I am adding here catch exception. See, here again you can simply say e.print stack trace. That also fine for us. See, now also it will give us null pointer exception. See one screen, null pointer exception. Perfect. And if you want to catch multiple exception within single catch block, right, then you can simply use pipe operator. This is the feature added in Java 7. Like you can catch multiple exception within single catch block. So now I'm giving here arithmetic exception. If you want to give here array index out of bounds exception, you can give number of, but you can simply use here pipe operator separator. Okay. Then also it will give us the output. See one screen. Perfect. Here we got null pointer exception because name is null there. Now I want to cover up the one scenario. I will delete this from here, and you can simply consider like we have available here itself. We are adding here integer 10 by 0. You can simply say we are adding here variable as well. The result equal to 10 by 0. It means divide by 0, you can simply say, right? Then which exception we are going to catch here? Then see, like system itself, like Java, we have like line number 10, we got here exception like divide by 0, and line number 11, the exception is null pointer exception because name also null. But here we are catching which one first? Null pointer exception. But here sequence, whatever exception come first now, it will goes to catch. Then here we are expecting divide by 0, it means arithmetic exception. Okay, and the second we got here null pointer exception, but it not goes to catch because we got the exception here. Then directly coming to catch block, it will print arithmetic exception divide by 0. See one screen, run as Java application. See which exception we got? Arithmetic exception. At which line we got this exception? Line number 10. Okay, perfect. Then whatever sequence comes, you can directly say this particular exception will goes to catch. Then within single catch, we are able to catch multiple exception, and one try you can add multiple catches. Okay, if you want to say here illegal thread state exception, illegal thread state exception, that also fine. Again, if you want to catch one more exception here, you can catch here. But parent exception always gives the least priority. If you are passing this exception here and here you are passing parent exception, it will give us the compile time problem. See one screen, this is the interview scenario. Okay, always you can simply say like parent exception will be least priority, you can add at the end. Okay, parent exception. Child you can give the more priority here. I hope you got the clarity here. Like one try we have multi catch available here. Perfect. And the second point, within single catch block we are able to catch multiple exceptions from Java 7. One more point, like parent exception give the least priority, you can add at the end at the parent exception here. Okay, and child you can give the more priority here, like sequence wise. Perfect. Now coming to next we have available here finally block. Then I am just adding here finally block, and within finally block I am just trying to print like this block always execute. Now I am just changing here, you can say always execute. Finally is a block, it always execute. If you are trying to run a Java application, see always execute also available there, right? Yeah. Then what is the real-time usage of finally block? Then finally block real-time usage, you can close database session, you can close database connection, Hibernate session. Such a type of code snippet you can simply add within finally block. If you want to like important code snippet, if you want to execute, right, then such type of code snippet you can simply add within finally block. Fine, because exception occurs or not occurs, finally block always execute. See one screen, run as Java application. Perfect. But there is one odd scenario. If you are putting in try block like system.exit 0, then your final block not goes to execute. See now in try block I am putting system.exit, then final block also not goes to execute. See one screen. Perfect. There is no output. It means line number 10 itself our code goes out of JVM, right? That's why there is no output. Then interview scenario comes, in which scenario finally block does not execute. You can simply say if you are putting in try block system.exit 0, then finally block does not execute. Now I am just going to comment it out, and again we'll try to use run as Java application. It will print the output always execute. Perfect. Then one try we have multi catch available, and one try how many finally? We have only one finally. One try one finally. If I want to add one more finally here, it will give me compile time problem. Why? Because one try one finally. If you want to use finally there, you can use one more try. Okay, it means one try multi catch, and one try we have only one finally. Okay, one try only one finally. Then I'm just going to delete it. Now question comes here, is it possible to use try without catch and finally? Yes, it's possible to use by using try with resources. Is it possible to use catch without try? No, at least you required one try there. Is it possible to use finally without try? No, it's not possible. If you want to use finally, at least you need there one try block. Fine, one try, one finally. But try, it's possible to use without this catch and finally. How? For that perspective, I am creating new Java application. Here is the new Java class I am creating, and the class name I am giving here. This will be try with resources. Example. See, here very basic class I am creating. Like I am creating here scanner. Scanner equal to new scanner. We are passing here system.in. I want to take input from end user. /n. You can simply say please enter name. Right. Now we are passing a string. This will be name equal to, you can simply say scanner dot next. Either you can use next or next line. Next line it will read after space as well, but next if you are using, then it will not read the string after space. And here I am just trying to print it, this name. I just created the very basic program, you can simply say, for try with resources. Then try with resources, this is the feature comes in Java 7. What it does internally, like it will also avoid the resource leakage and close object automatically. Now line number 8, you got here one yellow mark, right? Warning, like resource leakage, scanner is never closed. It means they are saying you have created the object here but you haven't closed it, right? If I am trying to run a Java application, it will give us the output, see one screen. If I am passing here Sora, it will print the Sora, right? But now you can simply consider here, if I am passing scanner.close, then definitely there is no available warning message like yellow mark. See, it will give us the output, see one screen. Please enter name, I am passing Sora, it will give us the output. But instead of using close, right, we have option available from Java 7. You can simply use the try with resources. Simply mouse over there and just use surround with the try with resources. Once you are using here surround with try with resources, then definitely it will avoid resource leakage and close the object automatically. Then see, here we are able to use try without catch and finally, correct? Now again I am trying run as Java application. See, name I am passing here Swara, it will print perfect, and there is no any resource leakage. And try with resources, it will help us to close object automatically. Developer not need to worry about use close method there. Perfect. Then try with resources, like this is the feature comes in Java 7. In Java 7 there are two features comes corresponding to exception handling. The first one is within single catch block you can catch multiple exception by pipe operator. See, here is the pipe operator. Perfect. And the second feature, try with resources, like here we are able to use try without catch and finally, and it will help us to avoid resource leakage and close object automatically. I hope you got the point of try with resources as well. Then now coming to next we'll come up with the here, like we have available 5 block, right? Then first there is available try block. Here like we'll add exceptional code in try block. Catch block, it is used to catch the exception. And throw, you can simply say this is user defined exception. It is user defined. It means you can simply say custom exception. And throws, it is a system generated exception. System generated exception. Now coming to next point in throw, like we'll declare throw. We'll declare throw inside method, and throws, you can say we'll declare throws at the time of method declaration. Coming to next point, point number 3. See, in throw will handle only one exception at a time. Only one exception at a time. And here throws, in throws you can simply say will handle multiple exception at a time by comma separated, by comma separated. Perfect. Now coming to fourth number point, throw it called explicitly and throws it called implicitly. It called implicitly. Explicitly it means externally we need to write the code for that. Okay, see, we have available try. We'll add exceptional code in try block. Catch block, it is used to catch the exception. Throw, it is a user defined exception, and throws, it is a system generated exception. We'll declare throw inside method. We'll declare throws at the time of method declaration. In throw we'll handle only one exception at a time, but in throws we'll handle multiple exception at a time by comma separated. You can simply say by comma separated. And throw it called explicitly. Externally we need to write the code because this is user defined custom exception, and throws it system generated, it called implicitly. Now coming to finally it is a block. It always execute, it always execute, right? And what is the real-time usage of finally block? A real-time usage, like you can simply say, you can close database connection, close Hibernate session, such type of code snippet you can simply add within finally block. I'm just giving here close db connection. db it means database, close Hibernate session, like etc. You can simply say, like such type of code snippet you can simply add within finally block. And there is odd scenario that time finally block does not execute. If you are putting in try block system.exit 0, then finally block does not execute. Then coming to next is we'll go ahead with here our difference between throw and throws. See, like throw it is a user defined exception, throws it is a system generated exception. Throw will declare throw inside method, but throws will declare at top method declaration. In throw will handle only one exception, but in throws will handle multiple exception by comma separated. And throw it called explicitly and throws implicitly. We'll come up with this scenario here. For that perspective, I am creating one more package here. New package you can simply say. The package name I am giving here, this is exception package. Okay, we'll refactor it. I want to give package name as like com.fullstack.core.exception. And now here I am creating in exception package new Java class. I want to cover up the real-time scenario. That's why I'm giving here record not found exception. Okay, and here once we create this record not found exception, then coming to core package, I am creating new Java class. Java class name I am giving here HRM application, you can simply consider. Now in HRM application, this is our main class. That's why I'm writing here which method? Main method. Here I am creating the class name as you can simply say employee. Then employee have fields. I will use the control M, it will maximize the size of screen. Private int, you can simply say emp have id. Next private string, I am passing employee have name. Then time being I am just adding here 3 fields. In your case you can add number of fields here. This will be employee have salary. Now I am creating here constructor. Simply right click, go to source, generate constructor using fields. I am selecting those all. We need all, right? ID, name and salary. Simply right click, go to source, generate constructor using fields. Why employee salary is not coming there? We have saved our Java class, right? We'll do project cleanup as well. Perfect. See, now we are expecting there will be coming as employee salary as well. Right click, go to source, generate constructor using fields. See, ID, name and salary is coming. Then simply click on generate. Now we are just creating getter setters. Go to source, generate getter setters. Select all and generate it. We require toString method. Simply right click, go to source, generate toString method. If you want to add equals hash code contracts, you can go ahead and add it. Upcoming sessions I will teach you equals and hash code contracts as well. Now you can simply say this is our Pojo class we have created, and as per our business requirement we have added those variables, then constructor, then getter setters here, right? And the toString method we have used here for print the formatted output there. Control A, Control I, Control Shift F, this is like shortcut key to format the code base. Now coming to our exception scenario here, like record not found exception, correct? Then here you can use extends, either you can go ahead with the exception, otherwise you can say throwable as well. And throwable is the immediate parent class of our exception. Exception class have hierarchy, right? Like exception is a Java class coming from .lang package. I want to show you here. See, exception is a Java class coming from .lang package. You can simply see my mouse pointer. See, exception is Java class coming from .lang package. If you are coming with the internal implementation, see, exception is a Java class extending the property from throwable. It means exception have immediate parent class name is throwable. Rather than exception, all the Java classes the immediate parent class available object. And if you are coming with a throwable, then see, throwable also available here, implements serializable interface there. Perfect. Then in our scenario, instead of exception and throwable, I will prefer to use runtime exception. Runtime exception. In your case, you can go to the exception, you can go to throwable, you will get more clarity there. What happens, right? I'm just giving here hint, like if you are using exception or throwable, then whenever you are going to throw our exception, right, there also you need to handle the again either surround with the try catch, otherwise you need to declare the throw declaration there. That's why I'm using here directly runtime exception. This is very optimized, you can simply consider. And here I am creating, this is parameterized constructor like record not found exception. We are passing here string type of message, and inside that I am just passing here super message. Then here this is parameterized constructor, like constructor name same name as a class name, right? And we are passing parameter, it means this is parameterized constructor. In that we are passing super message. And if you are coming here runtime exception internal implementation, see, extends exception, right? This is the parent class available. And if you are coming down, see, here also we have available parameterized constructor. Then we are passing string type of message, and here we are passing super message. Then again coming back to here, such a way, like here we just added like class name as record not found exception, extends runtime exception, then parameterized constructor, we are passing here super message. Now coming to our HRM application. Then HRM application, here I want to add list of data. Then I will use here Java Stream API. Upcoming sessions you will get more clarity, like how to use the Stream API as well. I will take deep dive into Java features also in upcoming sessions. And we are going to create a separate playlist for Java 8. Okay, perfect. And if you want some things, you can simply add in comment box here. I am just adding here stream of, and inside that I am adding here constructor new employee. I am adding here 5 employee record. This is 121. The name I am adding here Swara. The salary I am adding 97,000.96. Then here we are going to list. We are expecting 5 employee records. That's why I'm just doing the copy paste here. You can simply say this is second employee, this is third employee, this is fourth employee, this is fifth employee. Each record I am giving unique ID. This will be 123, 124, 125. Now here I am giving, this will be Pooja. We are adding here Rutuja. We are adding here Rajesh. And here we are adding here, this will be, you can simply say Aparna, right? Each record we are giving different salary. Perfect. We have given different salary. How many records we have added? We have 5 records available here. Then here we are considering the problem statement for a throw. How we are going to handle the throw in our application. Throw, it means custom exception. Here we have created the custom exception like record not found exception. Perfect. Then here in which case we are going to throw record not found exception, like we are taking the input from end user. If the ID is available out of those 5, then we are going to print the record. If it's not available, you can simply say throw new record not found exception, and we are passing string type of message like employee ID does not exist. Then simply come up with here, I am just passing scanner equal to new scanner. We are taking the input from end user. For that perspective I am passing here, you can say message please enter employee hash id. Id it will be unique, right? We are considering. Perfect. Then here integer emp id equal to scanner dot next int, and now we are using here for each. This will be, you can simply say like employee we have available here. This is the list of employees data. Then I am creating here one list. List it will be type of our employee, and we are passing here this will be employees. Yeah, if you want to say employee list, that also fine. If you want to say this will be employee list, that will be good naming convention here, right? Yes. Control A, Control I, Control Shift F. It will format the code base. Perfect. Now we are adding this employee list here, and then adding the condition if you can say employee dot get id equal to emp id. If it's coming, then you can simply say like this record will be available, and we are using here break once this record available, right? And else part, what we are trying to suggest, in else part we are going to say like throw new record not found exception. See on screen here I am trying to print like employee hash id does not exist, employee id does not exist. Otherwise whatever you want to print, you can simply print it, because you have freedom to print whatever message you want. Now I am just trying run as Java application, and I am passing here 121, the record available, right? Now again I am trying run as Java application, I am passing here 122, but it giving like record not found exception. But we have this record available here 122, right? But till it giving which exception? Record not found exception. Why? Because here within that for loop, for each, you can simply say we handle the condition, right? Yes. Then first iteration it's not satisfied, directly coming with the else. For that perspective, we need to do some code changes. Like such a number of scenario you need to handle in real-time projects as well. Okay, perfect. Then here we are just adding one boolean type of flag. By default value we are giving here false. Now coming outside this for, and we are just going to handle here if not flag. If it means it's not false, then you can say like throw new record not found exception, and in this case before break you can simply make the flag value as true. Perfect. See, those are the changes we did here actually to handle this scenario. Now simply to run as Java application, I am passing here 121, it will print the output. Now run as Java application, I am passing here 122, it will print the output. Again, if I am trying here run as Java application, and if I am passing here 125, then see, if I am passing here 125, then also printing the output here on screen. Perfect. Then now if I am passing here again run as Java application, if I am passing 1001, we don't have such a record available, then definitely it will print like record not found exception, employee ID does not exist. It means this is the custom exception. See on screen like a record not found exception, and we got here employee hash ID does not exist. Then this is the custom exception we handle here by using throw keyword. And see, by using throw we are able to create user defined, it means custom exception. Whatever you want, you can simply select employee record not found exception, customer record not found exception, resource not found exception, right? Yes. And throw will declare inside method, and in throw will handle only one exception at a time, and this is externally we have written the code. Actually we have written this code, right? Now coming to throws, if you are handling the throws, then throws will declare at the top method declaration. See, here is throws, you can say NullPointerException, ArithmeticException, ArithmeticException, such a number of exceptions we are able to handle there, right? Then see, what is the main difference between throw and throws? Throw it is a user defined exception. See here, user defined exception we have defined, record not found exception we have created, custom exception. Next, throws, it is a system generated exception, like we have handled here NullPointerException, IOException, ArithmeticException, right? Perfect. Now we'll declare throw inside method. See, we'll declare throw inside method only. Inside method we have declared throw, but throws will declare throw that of method declaration. See, here is our main method. here is main method itself we have added throws null pointer exception. Not only main method, any method type, like whenever you are declaring the method, that time only we are handling the throws. And you can simply say like throws we declare at the top method declaration. Coming to next, in throw will handle only one exception at time. See, here we handle only one exception in throw, but if you are checking with throws, we'll handle multiple exception by comma separated. In throws, see, we handle here multiple exception by comma separated. And now coming to next, and this is last point here, throw it called explicitly, like externally we have written the code here, perfect, and throws it implicitly, right, like our system taking care actually. Like such a way we have differentiate here throw and throws. Now coming to some scenario based questions here actually. For that perspective, I am just creating one more Java class. You can say new Java class. This is like exception scenario. See, this is our main class, main method. Then first scenario I am adding here. You can say this is integer result equal to 10 by 0. Okay. Then see, here I am just adding result equal to 10 by 0. Now this much code we are adding within like our try block. Whenever exception comes, this much code we are going to add within try block, right? Yeah. And by using catch we are able to catch the exception. Then again, if I am catching here, this is arithmetic exception, it will give me compile time problem. Why? Because parent exception always you need to give list priority. Then here you can simply say exception, and here you can simply give the arithmetic exception. It will be happy path scenario. Okay. One more scenario we are just going to cover up here, finally block. But for that scenario, I want to create the separate functionality. That's why I'm just coming to here and creating one method static. You can simply say int get. This is just scenario I'm creating here. Okay. Yeah. Then here we are just going to return, you can simply say 11. Here we are going to return like 1, and ending with semicolon you can simply add. Here we are trying e.print stack trace, right? And if you want to return here something, you can return as well instead of print stack trace. Okay, I am just returning here suppose 5. Okay, control A, control I, control shift F. Now if I am trying to print it, here which method? Get method. Then definitely what will be the output? We are expecting a finally block also there. Sorry, I am just changing somehow code snippet here. This is final block, and in final block I am printing 11, right? Like we are returning here 11, here we are returning 5, here we are returning 1. This is exception scenario, right? Like exception occurs, it will goes to catch and it will return 5, but final block always execute, right? Then definitely it will return only one value, 5 11. Then definitely it will return 11. See one screen. Run as Java application, I invoke this get method within main, it will print 11. But if you don't have finally, then definitely what we are expecting? See, if you don't have finally, right, then definitely we are expecting there will be, it comes with the catch block, right? Yeah, we'll remove this catch block as well. Control A, control I, control shift F. Now see, run as Java application. See, it will return 5. Have you observed? But if you have available finally block, right, like such a finally block we have available, and here I am trying to return suppose 3, then now definitely it will give us the final block always execute, exception occurs or not occurs, right? Simply to run a Java application, see the final block output is coming here, return 3. I hope you got this scenario as well. Then be careful in interview if you are using final block there. Okay, exception occurs or not occurs, then final block always execute. Now one more scenario I want to cover up here. This will be class, you can simply say A. One more class I am creating, class name as B. It extending the property from A, and here we have available method by show, and show method it throws, you can simply say like arithmetic exception, yeah, null pointer exception. Mostly in this industry we are getting null pointer exception there, right? Yeah, I am just handling here this null pointer exception, you can say. Now there is no issue, right? Why? Because your parent also throws null pointer exception and child also throws null pointer exception. But now if your parent is throwing like runtime exception and your child is throwing like, you can say, compile time exception, right? Then definitely it will create the problem. Okay, then always give the priority for your parent exception. It will be compile time, and your child it will be runtime. Then there is no issue. Otherwise, both the places you can give the same exception, it goes to work. But if you are handling such a scenario here, right, see, it will goes to work. But if you are handling like IO exception you are giving here, and here you are giving suppose null pointer, it means runtime exception, then it will create the problem. Perfect. Then either you can give both the places same exception, otherwise in parent you can give the IO exception, and in your child class you can give here whatever you can say, like this is our runtime exception. Correct. See, here we are giving this is your parent, right? And parent we are handling here compile time exception, and child you can simply say this will be runtime exception. This scenario goes to work. Otherwise both the places you can simply follow the same. Then in short you can simply say, like parent we are giving priority for compile time exception, and in child we are giving the priority of our runtime exception. And in such a way, like in exception handling scenario, we handle all the scenarios here actually. Like exception, it means it is an abnormal condition which is interrupt the normal flow of our Java program. There are two types of exception: checked exception, unchecked exception. Check it means compile time, uncheck it means runtime. Then check exception example IO exception, SQL exception. Uncheck exception, it means runtime exception like null pointer exception, arithmetic exception. There are 5 blocks to handle the exception: try, catch, throw, throws, and finally. Then you can simply follow this session, but till if you are facing any difficulties, then feel free to add your errors in comment box. I will be happy to help you from YouTube as well. Okay, yeah, and thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share, subscribe the channel to get more updates, and see you in next video.